everybody. I got a show for you today, and it's National Donut Day. So, in honor of National Donut Day, I am going to support my local business, Winchell's. So I'm headed there now, because, you gotta support the, I need it like I need a hole in the head. Anyway, watch and see what I got. So in honor of National Donut Day, I am supporting my local business. We're gonna go in and get a dozen donuts.
Sprinkles, please. Just chocolate on chocolate.
So we got the donuts. Look. Open 24 hours, established since 1948. Oh my gosh, what do we have? Do I dare open them now? Let's see. Oh my gosh, let's see. What did we get? Oh my God. That is so yummy. Oh, Long John's, cinnamon, blueberry. Oh, yeah, okay. Back to the show. Everybody, Crafting Journey here, that Journey Chick on Instagram. Welcome to another edition of Crafting and Crime Daily, the cow edition. Don't you love this shirt? Little moon, sun over here, and the flowers. And the strategically placed nostril of the cow. So today I am diamond painting. Don't forget to hit the like button. He went to the store with me on National Donut Day and he got to pick out the donuts. Yay, so don't blame me, Jean. The like button picked them out. I didn't. So let me show you where I'm at with. I'm at the tail end of this diamond painting. Yay. Okay, hold on. Sorry for all the noise. So here's the picture so far. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my God. Beautiful. So I'm hoping to get this done soon. Like over the next week or so. Yeah. So I'm working on this section right here. Just gonna fold that back. Come on. Coax the magnet over to there. Put on the light pad. So, how are you guys today? It is Friday. Payday. Woo, ooh, 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 ooh. My last day of short-term disability. Going back to work on Monday. So, it is what it is. I gotta work a few more years. Meanwhile, I will enjoy my game over the weekend. I will be on Mickey Sunshine Creates show tonight at 6:30 Central Time, 7:30 Eastern. Check that out. Okay, what am I gonna do? What am I doing here? I think I'm done with this one. Yeah, let me put this one away. So, like I said on the intro, it is National Donut Day. Yep. So, of course, I picked up a dozen from my favorite shop, Winchell's, and you get 14 donuts when you buy a dozen at Winchell's, and they are the best donuts. Oh my God, they are so good. So this is the letter P. I don't need to put them all in the tray, but I will. Now I gotta find the P's. P. A little confetti going on here. And if you don't know what confetti means, if you're new to diamond painting, it means one little section that has like 10, 12, 14, 20 different symbols. So, you have to like do one at a time, and it's a pain, but what it does is it adds a lot of detail to your painting. So now this area here, all color blocking, the backdrop with the water and the sky, so beautiful. So I'm just going to single place while I talk to you, because I am the multi-placing queen, but like I said, this is confetti, so it's hard to multi-place and talk at the same time. So, what is the history of National Donut Day? I'll tell you. So, in 1917, the Salvation Army lassies, as they were called, went over to World War II, and they were serving donuts to the troops, and they would actually fry them in the helmets of the troops, and that's how they got to be called doughboys, because they were frying the dough in the helmets of the troops. But it that's credited to being the first known sort of donut, and aren't we the better for it, right? And of course, I happen to rent a home that's, a half a mile from the best donut shop in town. Now, there's a lot to choose from when it comes to donuts. There's Krispy Kreme, there's Dunkin'. I don't like Dunkin' Donuts. I used to. Oh my God, when my kids were growing up, every Sunday, I would get up and I would go out and I would buy the Sunday paper and get a dozen donuts, because this is back when people read newspapers and collected coupons. Remember those days? You had to get the Sunday paper so you could get the coupons. You never used them, but you got the coupons, yeah. And I would get a dozen donuts, and they were delicious. The kids gobbled them up, and my husband, every Sunday. But Dunkin' Donuts are just terrible now. They're just, they're, I don't know what they're made with, but they just don't have a lot of flavor to them, and I don't know, they're tiny, and they never have the one you want. So, and then there is Hot and Now, yeah, Krispy Kreme donuts. Oh yeah. Oh. Now that's just like eating air. Just biting into air. Very light, and not light in calories, but just that airy kind of donut with that they run under the goo, the glaze, and I think my favorite there is I like the chocolate ice glaze, like with that white filling in it, the white cream filling. I don't like a Boston cream. I like the white cream filling, and the raspberry filled. Oh, so good. And when you bite into it, the raspberry just bursts all over the place and goes down your shirt. Yes, you have to be prepared when you eat a raspberry Krispy Kreme donut. So, what is your favorite donut? Leave me a comment. Let me know. Are you going to go get a donut? Or are you passing this donut day? I wouldn't blame you if you were. But you could always buy a dozen donuts and drop them off for the local first responders. They always appreciate donuts. Yep. So, I got news yesterday. As you guys know, I had a colonoscopy this week. And I got a phone call yesterday, and they said that the polyp that they took out was precancerous. Now, I'm like, oh, what? And he's like, yeah, but you don't have to come back for another, we're just going to watch it. You come back in 5 years. What? So my doctor and I are going to have a little chat, because I don't know if should be waiting 5 years if I've got something that's precancerous just taken out of me. Like, did you get the margins? Like, did you leave it? I mean, I just have all kinds of questions. So, yeah, little freaked out, because, no, my sister points out, I'm like, I don't want colon cancer. And she's like, you don't want any cancer. Well, this is true, but I especially don't want any colon cancer. No. God. Anyway, so I'll talk to my doctor, and then we'll see where that goes. But the moral of that story is there's more colonoscopies in my future. Yeah. It also it just emphasizes the importance of going out there and getting your screening, guys. I like I said the other day, I'm very healthy. If I take my medicine, I'm obese. Of course, I'm obese, but otherwise, I'm healthy. Never any signs or symptoms or anything that would say, hey, there's something going on. So, if you're feeling that way too, you should still have your screening. Just get the initial one, and, if it comes back clean, then you're happy, and, but, I thought for sure, hey, mine's going to come back clean, I'm healthy, right? We'll follow this and we'll see what happens. But let's talk about yesterday. I started a disappearance story of Christina Whitaker. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because there's no trials this week. Everything was Amber Heard, Johnny Depp, Amber Heard. Even after the fact, Law and Crime is still showing Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, and they're talking about it. Like, seriously? Let it go. They're calling it the trial of the century. Okay. And this Camille Vasquez, the attorney for Johnny Depp, she is on the map now, man. Her career is all good. She has set herself apart. I need coffee for this, right? So when there's no trials, I'd try to bring you a true crime story. So let's continue the story of Christina Whitaker. So yesterday I told you, I didn't tell you, she went missing in November of 2009. And yesterday I gave you several of the theories of what might have happened to her. Continuing on with more theories. Okay, we have the theory of Darcy Morris. Darcy Morris is a gentleman from Peoria, Illinois. He was frequenting the area, and one of his ex-girlfriends claimed that he kidnapped her and took her somewhere and beat her up and then dumped her body. Now, this ex-girlfriend also got beat up pretty bad. So this filmmaker, she decides she's going to go find Darcy Morris. So Darcy Morris is in jail for murdering his wife, beat her to death. So he finally agrees to be interviewed, and he's pretty candid about his past, and he admits to knowing Christina, and he says, no, I did not murder Christina. He goes, I know that rumor's been out there for years. I did not do this. And apparently there's another person involved that he allegedly wrote a letter to saying that, admitting that he had done this. Now the person got rid of the letter because they thought if they kept the letter and the police ever found it, he would be implicated in this murder. So, of course, Darcy Morris denies any wrongdoing. He's like, nope, it wasn't me. And just judging from his body language, I didn't get that it was him. I mean, it could have been. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. He didn't flinch when he was talking about all this. So, but what a sleazy guy. Ooh, gave me the creeps. Then there's this other guy named Glenn Ledbetter that his name kept popping up during the investigation. He is a registered sex offender, and an anonymous source was claiming that the body of Christina Whitaker was buried on Glenn Ledbetter's property. Now, just a little bit of history about Hannibal, Missouri, where this woman went missing. This is an area ripe in organized crime. Now, it's a small town, but you would not think, oh, organized crime in the small town. Oh yeah, for over 150 years, this has been the home base for organized crime. The Romashels live here. The Romashels came from Romania. They are these gypsies. They settled. They do this scam called where they come in and they say you need to new asphalt, and they were called the asphalters. It's a big scam that they would run, and this is how they made some of their money. But they also were doing, trafficking of drugs and things like that. But Ledbetter is a big name in the Romashel community. So he is part of this organized crime thing. So this investigative reporter, this guy approaches her and he's like, I'm an ex-cop. He claimed that he had worked for the Hannibal Police Department and he quit because of the corruption there. He's like, you have to be so careful in this town. So they became fast friends. He was helping her with the investigation. He taught her how to use a gun. And so she also enlisted the help of some former FBI agents. So what she does is she looks into the property of Glenn Ledbetter, and because the rumor was that she was buried on this property. This is a rumor that had been going around for a while, that she was buried on his property. So this investigative reporter, she goes to the property appraiser's office, and she figures out that the property right behind Ledbetter's home, he doesn't own. It's owned by a private corporation. So she and this FBI agent, they decide they're going to go, and the former police officer, they hire a cadaver dog and they send him out on this property. Now, while they're on the property, this Ledbetter comes up to somebody with the family, not Ledbetter himself, on a four-wheeler, and says, you're on Glenn Ledbetter's property, you need to get off. And they're like, no, this is not his property. But they were not gonna, they're like, yeah, okay, we're gonna leave, because you don't want to start a fight with these guys. So but before they left, the dog had hit on an area, so they secretly marked the area. Then they come back another day, and with a different cadaver dog that was provided by the Hannibal Police Department. They finally decided they're going to help, so they come out with a different cadaver dog, and he hits on the same spot. So the Hannibal Police Department says, okay, we're going to dig this, we're going to do a dig at this spot. And they don't. And they wait, and they wait, and they wait, and nobody does a dig. So finally, this journalist decides she's going to, they're all going to do this dig themselves. So they find bones, they find a garrote. A garrote is this wire thing that you use to, hang people with. They found that. So they take all of this evidence. So they figure they can get DNA off of this, so they drop it off at the Hannibal Police Department, never to be seen again. And they keep asking, they call, did it get processed? No, we haven't processed it. No. Finally, she's told, oh no, we threw it out. You threw it out? Yeah, it wasn't right. We didn't think we'd find anything there, so we threw it out. What? So it never got tested? Yeah, crazy. And interesting enough, going back to the Romashels, the mother of the missing girl, her name is Cindy. Her maiden name is Elzia, also a Romashel. So the plot thickens. So then we hear another rumor that she was sleeping with several of the police officers. So in order to confirm or, debunk this rumor, several interviews are conducted with friends of Christina. And they said, yeah, when we were teenagers, there would be these parties and the police would, in exchange for favors, they would not say anything, So they were having sex with these police officers. And then one of the friends says, yeah, there was a time where we got busted. We had some drugs and we got busted by the cops. So they looked that police report up, and the police report says that she wasn't busted for drugs. It says that she was pulled over for possible intoxication. So now they're like, well, what's that all about? There was no mention of any drugs here. So they asked for a copy of Christina's probation file because she was on probation. And lo and behold, they find out she was a confidential informant for the Hannibal Police Department. Now, we're not sure what she was doing. It's surmised that she was sent out to make drug purchases or sell drugs. Something to do with drugs, because several people had said that at the time of her disappearance, she had a very large amount of oxycodone on her, like hundreds of pills on her. And that the rumor was that she was selling it. So was she selling it in exchange for the police information? So apparently she really was pulled over for drugs, but instead of arresting her for the drugs, which would have exposed her as a as a confidential informant, they just made up some BS about why they pulled her over. But she was a confidential informant for the Hannibal Police Department, which totally makes sense about why the Hannibal Police Department would never participate in this investigation. Now, interestingly enough, they interviewed a former police chief of this police department, and he laughed and he says, I was warned not to take the job here. And he says, I tried to run a clean shop, but he admitted that there was a lot of corruption in the police department. There was even a rumor that one of the Hannibal Police Departments outed her to his confidential informant, and you never out one confidential informant to another, which, that's just asking for trouble. So the likely scenario that night is someone figured out what she was doing and killed her and buried her body somewhere. Now, there was another anonymous tip that her body was buried in a different location on the border of Illinois and Hannibal, Missouri. So they got permission to go onto this property. The cadaver dogs, again, were brought in. They did alert on a particular location. The police department in Illinois came out right away, did a dig, like that same night, came out and did a dig, and they didn't find anything. But it's just astonishing how, like, the same night they come out and do a dig, a Hannibal Police Department took months and months and months saying they were going to do a dig and never did a dig on the other site. So, I guess the question was, really, was that where her body was buried? Did the Romachels figure out that she was a confidential informant? I don't know. Her mother didn't know. Her mother did not know that she was a confidential informant. Or she says she didn't know. Yep. So, bottom line is, they never found her. They never found her body. She is still missing to this day. And I'm going to avoid Hannibal, Missouri. I'm just going to go around that town on the way to the retreat. So, what happened this day in history? Interesting, very interesting. June 3rd, 1943, a group of sailors, military men, go into Los Angeles with clubs and these makeshift weapons, and they start beating everybody up that was wearing a zoot suit. So this was the start of the zoot suit riots. I had never heard of the zoot suit riots. Now, I'll put a picture of a zoot suit here. And the reason these military men were so inflamed is because during the war, the zoot suit had been outlawed because it took so much fabric and wool to make this suit. It was taking away from the making of the garments for the military people. So they said no zoot suits. Well, these Mexicans and these black people that were targeted were all wearing zoot suits. And anybody wearing any zoot suits and a few people who weren't wearing zoot suits got beat up. Now, nobody got killed, but this went on for several nights where the military people would go out, and the Los Angeles Police Department was very slow to respond. The military was slow to respond. They were just kind of letting it happen, where these, Mexicans were targeted, blacks were targeted, and they would be stripped of the zoot suit. The zoot suit would be burned, and then they would be beat up. Who knew? Never heard of such a thing. So finally, the Los Angeles Police Department said no more military. They banned the military from coming into LA, and they set up military police around the LA to keep them out. And this sort of ended it all. How strange, right? Now, I was trying to calculate. My dad grew up in LA. He would have been, I'm trying to think, 12 years old. I would love for him to be here. I would ask him about it because I'm sure he knew about it, but maybe not. You don't remember everything that happens when you're a teenager. Am I done with this symbol? Oh, I don't know. I think I am. Well, there's one. I found one right there. Now, this is the way I diamond paint. I cross-country paint. Yep. I just kind of open up a section, and I just do all of one symbol in that section. And this is if I didn't mention it, this is an Ever Moment canvas. It's from the Ever Moment official store on AliExpress. That is the only store I would ever buy anything from on AliExpress. I'll just put it that way. Very reputable. If you want a custom painting, I would recommend them. Highly recommend them. The drills are fantastic. Customs are very, very nice. Now I'm finding all kinds of them up here. So this weekend I will be doing a live at 11 a.m. Central Time on Sunday, and I hope to see you there. We're just going to chit chat, but don't forget tonight I'll be on Mickey's show at 6:30. Mickey Sunshine Creates. That's at 6:30 Central Time, 7:30 Eastern, and I'm out of here. Yep, it's Friday. Whoop. Bye.